So everything went amazing. I couldn't replicate one thing, but I'm quite okay with that. It's not necessarily about being good at it, it's more like having fun. Swedish herring. Yum, yum, yum. So I'm going to meet right now with an old friend of mine who is a wild man. Oh. Hey dude.
Hey.
It's good to see you, man.
Always good to see you.
Yeah. You know, there are people who love to be ripped at 50, and there are people who are ripped at 50. What is the thing that turns your knobs on these days? What do you feel like is the cutting edge for you personally, as someone who's walking through life with open eyes and keep trying to open the eyes even wider? What is the thing that really blows your hair back now, that you feel like it's really for you the cutting edge?
Well, I think what it is really just my consistency and focusing on my dream, my legacy. I was ready to give up so many different times, and it was tough. And all those challenges really helped me become the person I am today. And now, Chaba, I am so excited just to wake up and get at the book, get at whatever projects I'm doing. I'm just so excited to get in my body, get in the gym. I'm making a lot of social media every single day.
Yeah.
It's actually easy and fun. I feel like Andy Warhol in a creative studio, I mean, magic is happening. But the clarity was the intention. And I think just having my butt kicked spiritually and almost wanting to quit.
I remember, brother, we were in connection throughout this past, I mean, we just figured out like maybe 8 years or something, right? On and off. So I've seen you going through tough times. I mean, they were not to walk in the park. And, I mean, we stayed connected and we worked together somewhat as well.
Yeah, you helped me out a lot. Believing in my work and hiring me, it was huge.
So I am inspired by the way you went about things when things were tough, and I mean the difference you make in people's life now. It's inspiring.
And helping people and talking to people, and then I remarried my ex-wife too. So as soon as this book is launched, we're going to get focused on the couples and the relationship side of everything.
Yes.
And I think people are really ready for that. And
I believe our love relationship of our lives is the number one most important relationship that one can have. I mean, just by sheer number wise, right? I mean, that's the person you're going to spend the most years living together with.
But I got to tell you, right then and there, so I just got off pornography, and I think pornography had a stranglehold on my unconscious and subconscious, and I think it was affecting my relationship. It was affecting my commitment. Why not just love the one you're with instead of thinking there's another bubble butt around the corner that's going to satisfy you more when the love connection's not there. So I didn't have a big addiction, it's just 30 to 90 seconds. But I didn't, I wasn't like obsessed in my basement, it was just, I used it since I was 12 or 13 years old, and I never questioned it. And now that I'm off of it, and I like to practice the tantra and the sexual kung fu with my wife, and we're remarried again, and I'm starting to see that now that I don't have the pornography in my life, that there's a whole other depth. Plus, on plant medicine, we got remarried, and it was really about more of a devotion, deeper devotion and connection that I never had before. And first, that connection and devotion came to myself and my commitment to something bigger and greater. I had to rise up and come correct with my own level of devotion inside myself. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but I'm in a whole different ball game, and it's like, we're still in the honeymoon phase. We're 2 months into our remarriage, but it's like Christmas every day. So.
Well, listen, I mean, addictions, right? I don't think it really matters what kind of addiction it is. If it has a stranglehold on your life, I think if you want to experience magic, if you want to experience new, you need to break that addiction. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's out of control, you have to break it, so your future is not going to be predictable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have a predictable future, and what's the point living it? If it's predictable, who wants to live a predictable future? This way, there is the potential for new experiences. Right? So I think that's why it's key to break up addictions. And the way you did it is pretty cool. And that you feel comfortable talking about it. I mean, we live in a world where there are plenty of taboos. Right? This is taboo number one.
Yeah.
We live in North America, and before moving here, I used to think this is the freedom of everything goes. Says nothing is further from the truth. Everyone is so paranoid about sex. It's difficult to live in this world without getting addicted to everything. Anyone who has any wisdom and experience in breaking the addictions need to come out there and trumpet it everywhere.
I did modeling campaigns for Gianni Versace 27 years ago, and they reissued the South Beach Stories book that I did, and they had a big art installation for Art Basel, which is the biggest art show in the world. And so I went down there, and working for Versace as a billion-dollar company, it helped my career, and it continues to help my career 27 years later. My intention is to do more fashion, obviously bringing my own career and health and wellness to the forefront while I'm doing that.
What do you find is the most challenging these days?
The challenge, I'm in a pretty free flow right now. So, but I also understand life and the yin and the yang. So I'm just grateful for the flow. I know what flow is because I know what stagnation is. And so I'm in a flow right now. The challenge, I would say, stay grounded, so I've evolved emotionally a lot over the years, maturity-wise. And I used to get a lot more hot-headed before. So I think where I'm at right now is really not getting triggered and reacting, and really just being zen in the face of any storm, whether it's good or whether it's bad. When I got divorced, I let all my coaches go because I told myself, I have to figure this out by myself. I have to find my own way. And I grew out the beard and I grew out the hair. I felt stronger, I felt clearer, and I felt like I could feel and navigate my own way. So now I have to keep that center at the same time without letting external forces throw me off and start spinning out or reacting, getting triggered for that. So that's really, my edge right now.
What's interesting is the dualistic aspect of everything. When it comes to the individual experience, right? If someone has the tendency to flow and being easily persuaded one direction or another, right? Obviously, for them to become more whole, they need to experience the other side, right? What you just described. But then, once you experience the other side, you want to make sure you keep going back and forth. Keep playing around with it, right? The dualistic aspect of it all only works if you allowing yourself to go back and forth. Let go and then take charge, and let go and take charge, and back and forth, moment by moment, year by year, and not sticking on to certain idea that works in a given moment and trying to elongate it, but allowing it to just keep growing and allowing yourself to go back to the dangerous spots too. The places that you were probably at one point really scared not to go back again because you know what was there. But when you go back, you might find something different there that before you just couldn't see.
Well, I've already experienced that. My poor partner, he just started having a self-sabotage moment, and he started going really deep in character assassination. Usually, somebody says "fuck you" to me, I'm like "fuck you," and then we could fight or escalate or walk away, and I just really listened to him, and I found that Zen neutral point. And I also saw myself in him and was able to forgive him in the moment.
You guys did something that was good for many people, right? I mean, you started out of a pain body that you knew very well, and you realized other people share that. And then quickly a community was developed, and that community itself, as it evolved, it helped everyone to look at their own inner demon. And then when you look at your own inner demon, two things can happen. Once, is that you get scared, you run the other way, or you face up to it, and then you really want to get to know it. So you get to know that beast so well that you can live together with it, and you utilize its energy to fuel your own life.
There you go.
Right? It's not about killing the beast, not about getting rid of the shit. It's more like get to know thyself and utilize that wisdom to channel that energy into all the good stuff. Right?
Yeah. That's my edge right there. That's where I'm at, is integrating it all, shadow and all, and really using everything. Quantum mechanics?
Let's not even talk about quantum mechanics, because it's another conversation we will have to have. You know, I mean, that's where my mind is morning till evening. Practically how you can use it, you know, in your own life, and that's what's inspiring me.
Well, you're seeing that become more and more popular.
Yes, and which is great. I mean, quantum mechanics is strange. What's interesting about it is the only way you can get experience of it, you can't think your way into that.
Right.
You need to experience it, and that requires doing. Right. And what is the number one reason things don't happen in people's lives? Because they actually don't put the time into it to do it. So quantum healing is something that you literally need to partake in. It's not something you just take a pill.
Right. Well, I like to say that, you know, the industrial age is long over with. Information age is over with too. Everything is on Google already. We're information overload. So I postulate that we're moving into the age of authenticity, the age of implementation.
And clarity, right? Clarity, what matters to you specifically. And no one is going to be able to tell you that. You can choose the right tribe to guide you there, and the right mentors to give you directions, but you are the one who needs to walk through that door. Here, you really need to partake.
Experience it,
own it, practice it, and then you can change.
On that note, have you ever heard of this ancient Chinese medicine called Paida, where they slap you on the meridians?
Yes.
I did it. And I had a varicose vein taken out of this leg, and it was all stagnant. My piriformis was locked up. They slapped the hell out of me. So 5 minutes on each meridian. So all your meridians go through this point, cleans the blood, stem cell regeneration.
I remember the first time I encountered it was still was my practice in New York. And I sent one of my clients to this Chinese medicine doctor who was fantastic. So this square businessman client of mine, I send there. He comes the shit out of next day. He comes, and I said, how was it? He's like, he grabbed this stick and he smacked the shit out of me. You know, so, and he's like, but I feel great. Like, so he was thinking about it. It's a very Freudian, you know, maybe because my father beat me. I'm like, no, dude, this is different. It's not that.
There is a component of that because he did 6 parts, so it was 30 minutes. And on the back of my right leg, I felt like my dad was whipping me. And I screamed out really loud. The arms, I wasn't screaming as much, but that one leg, I was just like, I was screaming like a banshee.
Really?
Yeah. And my friend that had gone through it before me, he also said, you know, it's some deep, you know, wounding and stuff. So if the screams come out, it's not so much the screams, it's almost like an emotional release.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. So I went into that Zen moment in the face of just deep, deep pain. It's no different from shamanic medicine, ice baths, you know, drinking ayahuasca when you know you're going to get your ass kicked. You know, it was no different. You got to face yourself. And so I went into it and I was just like, wow, this really hurts. All right, let me treat this like an ice bath. Where can I find the center point? Where can I find the 0 point? And I was able to do that. And, man, it was a trip, and I was sore for a couple of days too. And they say once you do it, you don't have to do it again.
Really? I have experience with injuries, old injuries, and actually new injuries as well with folks. Oftentimes what I see is for whatever odd reason, the healing process stops. And there is a lingering pain that sticks around for a long time, even just from little things. And then sometimes going in there and re-injuring the area rekindles the healing process and it heals it. It's one of the most common ones, the top of the hamstring. That the top of the hamstring continuously just bothering them. And what I find, if I'm like, okay, so let's go in there, and what we're gonna do is we're really gonna kick the heck out of that part of your body. Really push hard into it, and it does hurt, and you need to be kind of careful with it. You need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But once the healing starts, oftentimes it just removes that nagging pain that's been around for a year, and suddenly it's gone. There are so many tools, man. There's no one answer about anything. The one thing that every health practitioner should probably wrap their mind around, there is no such thing and this is the answer.
Right.
There are many individuals, there are many tools, many different phases of individuals' lives, and whatever is right in that given moment, that's all that matters.
Whatever works.
And that really, oftentimes, the belief in the work itself, what the most important thing is. If you believe in it and it works for you, thumbs up. Kinesthesiology, physiotherapy, whipping people, whatever that is, plant medicine.
Shit on a stick.
Brother.
Awesome.
Really good chatting with you.
Yeah.